Today, Uganda is 62 years old, like Singapore, but the hell difference between these two countries. We're still poor, while Singapore transformed into a first world country. My memory of independence has kept on changing from time to time. As a young child, we knew independence was a time to celebrate independence, as the word means, that we had been able to get independence, ability to rule ourselves, ability to do things for ourselves from the British, who were the colonizers of Uganda. And we would march out, go out to town and march and have a soda and feel good about it. As I grew older in my secondary school, independence started meaning something different. A time to go out and watch soldiers march and have a holiday. But the Independence Day, Uganda's Independence Day, is very memorable to us as a family. It was on October 6, 1972, that our father disappeared. And indeed, he disappeared while handling issues of Independence Day celebrations. At that time, the district commissioner in Jinja, I think a father to some of the leading ladies in this country, had just met him, and they picked my father from his office. We've never seen him since. So every independence season, we have a memorial service for him. So independence to us has something very specific, not about Uganda's independence, but about our father's death. So that aside, what did independence mean, and what does it mean? Then, in my understanding, independence meant what I said. We were free possibly to do whatever we wanted to do, free to develop our country, free to do, to have anything that we wanted. But that was not the case, and that is still not the case. My understanding of independence today is, yes, we had self-rule. Of course, this should also be qualified. Now and again, if you read the records, the many Western countries come in and overthrow governments. You look at how many times the French or the CIA has intervened in Africa, hundreds of times. And that means that self-rule is in doubt. The other, my understanding today, is that we have no economic independence. When you look at our ability as a country, what is it that we can do economically? We really don't have much. If you look at the economic history of Uganda, 1962, guided by World Bank, 69 of bottom moves to the left, 71 is out, 81 but goes back to free market economics, and 1986 Museveni goes to 10-point program, a bit of to the left. 1987 he goes to the right, and the economic policies that we've pursued have been free market economics. These have tremendous benefits, but they also have a dark side. The benefits is growth in the economy, and the dark side is creating a class of people who are really poor, dependents. And I think this is what has been happening in this country, that we have a large number of people who, are really poor, below the poverty line. Possibly 30% of the population is. Of course, the other thing that we think about is that they take away our raw materials without really equal exchange. They dominate us in trade. We cannot export goods to Europe. There are too many restrictions. We don't export value. We export raw materials and agricultural, raw agricultural products. This is a problem of the independence that we're talking about. So, yes, we are not free. We're not independent. And what then are the solutions? What do you think we should do as a country to be able to get out of this? I think as a country, one, do we know where the playing ground is not level in business and trade? If we know, we should negotiate with the different countries. Or we should find new markets to be able to do this. Looking at the global market, especially for coffee, for gold, and other things, it's possible that we may be able to make some little breakthrough into it. Two, the African Union. The African Union brings together African countries for common interests. The African Union could be used to negotiate a level playing ground in trade for African countries, but this will not happen. It is not one entity that you think can be able to do this. After all, these Western countries will undermine separate countries. They'll do all kinds of things to add to countries, and you may not be able to gain that independence that you want. Three is BRICS. BRICS is an opportunity for African countries to be able to make a breakthrough. Here are new trade partners. Here are new trade partners who are competing with the West, who have been our colonial masters, who have imposed these restrictions on us in terms of trade, and possibly we have a breather. We may have a way out. But is it possible for us to do it? But the fourth way in which I think is the best way is be competitive. Uganda should be able to identify those areas where it thinks it can actually compete well and develop these areas. For instance, look at feeding the region. It's possible that we can feed the region. We can exploit that agriculture and be able to earn a lot of money out of it. Maybe also diversify our markets and be able to compete in those markets where we trade. Singapore is a very good example. Got independence at the same time. Singapore is a first world country. Uganda is a third world country with over 30% poor people, 80% rural areas, over 50% illiterates. There is no benefit from the independence that we got in 1962. It's time for us to work. So we should not celebrate it. We should simply mark it.